What up, YouTube? Topaz Yates back for another album review, and this one's to that Gunna Drip Season Forever. But before we jump into the album review, first I gotta give you context. First I gotta let you know exactly how I'm feeling leading up to this album so you know exactly where I'm coming from. But if you feel as though you know everything there is to know about Gunna, feel free to fast forward to this point here. Who is Gunna? Gunna is an Atlanta rapper who's pretty much been riding the wave and being brought up with Young Thug, who has gained a lot of notoriety. Like, he's gotten into the 100 million stream club. Multiple songs of his have reached over 100 million streams, but then a bunch of other songs, around the 25 to 50 million, which is really good. As Gunna is signed to YSL Records, part of 300, which is also signed to Atlantic Records, which reminds me of the Pusha T bars, signed to one dude who signed to another dude, signed to 3 more dudes, so that's 3 bad luck. And that's really one of the key reasons why he gets the mass promotion that he gets, on top of him being a hyped artist for this generation. And as you look at this video, you will see image after image, and you will see that he's a super fashion forward, super fashion driven type of MC. Like, he likes to floss heavy with the clothes. That's why his series is called Drip Season. Drip being, I got the flyest of clothes that y'all don't even have, which he does. I'm not taking that away from him. I just personally wish that he would focus more on music, putting together his own unique brand instead of having it being tied to Young Thug, than just being the flyest individual that he can possibly be fashion-wise, especially when you're signed to 3 labels. I don't know what his record deal is looking like, but I can tell you, most people who signed to 3 labels, all of them pushing your stuff, you're not getting the royalties like you think you are to afford to rock all of this stuff in the long run. Nowadays, he's been trending all over the net, man, for not only like the beef that he's having with Freddie Gibbs, which I am excited for this particular diss song, wherever it is on this album. I'm going to peep that out and I'm gonna talk about that. But also him like going to the Lakers game with Chloe Bailey. He's crossing over into that whole who is he dating area that women and everybody in general like to gossip about. He's pretty much so big that he's getting into that gossip realm, and that's going to continue to push his notoriety up. But again, it has nothing to do with the music. Like, he had 2 commercially pushed albums so far under these labels, and it was Wanna and Drip or Drown 2. But those were just his, you feel me? But while he's been signed to the commercial industry and all that, he has had plenty of collaborations, mostly with Young Thug. But I will tell you like this, I'm not a fan. Not saying that he's trash though. I'm not gonna take anything away from him or the producers that he's with. They're doing like top level music for this generation. There's a reason why people are flocking towards him. I'm just not a fan of the super drug-induced moaning on top of production that is on a level below of like classic individuals, say Manny Fresh to Timberland. But again, I'm not saying that his beats are trash. The beats is cool, like from Metro Boomin and individuals of that nature. They're cool. They're just not like eye-popping, I must have, because this production, it counteracts all of the flaws that Gunna has, because Gunna is not a lyrical individual. His whole style is derived from somebody who's still popping at this point. There's nothing really great about it, but yet I recognize that it's not terrible, and I recognize why his audience and people like to listen to him. It's not horrible, it's not bad, it's just not anything outstanding. But for all you people who are new to Gunna, I would say go ahead, listen to Dollars on My Head, Baby Barkin, Who You Foolin'. Those are some of his biggest records. Now, I would say personally my favorite would have been the Skybox, but none of these songs have ever made any one of my playlists. But still, just for reference, you should go ahead and peep that on out. And now I bring you the review of Gunna Drip Season Forever. And I gotta say, when you come into it knowing what to expect, it's not so bad. I mean, if you try to come into this like, yo, maybe this is gonna be dope, maybe we're gonna have some hot lyricism, maybe his diss towards Freddie Gibbs is going to be amazing, then you're gonna be super disappointed. And honestly, it impressed in the areas in which it needed to, because one, Gunna's not a lyricist, he's not amazing with the vocals or anything like that. So if he could get fire production and actually make some pretty quality songs, then the project will work out, and that's exactly what we got here. I'm just hoping that people will stop hyping up Gunna being more than what he is. He can get on a beat. He has the opportunity to not ruin it if it's a dope beat. He doesn't necessarily add anything because what he's doing is emulating other more notable acts, but yet he doesn't mess it up. And then he can do stuff that is catchy enough, that can catch on, and he can continue to push his brand forward. And as long as he does this, I see more success. I see his fans continuing to rock with him. And that's what happened with this project. As let's go ahead and look at some of these particular songs. Let's start with Pushin' P. Because, yeah, it's super catchy. That beat is fire. I ain't even mad at it, but everybody is like, what are you guys even talking about? Like, none of this makes sense. And I feel you. And here's the reality about music. Not all songs have to make sense, but I do believe this one does have actual meaning and stuff to it. Now, my point of view, I could be wrong here, but the way I see it is Pushin' P as in pushing pounds, as in pushing drugs, but yet they're not limiting and they're not saying that specifically. The P is whatever it is they want it to be, and they're using the vocab and talking about all the things from Percocets to clothings to anything that starts with a P that they rock with, that they like, or even sex and things of that nature. That's what they're gonna throw in there, and they just ran with it and made it catchy. Doesn't have to be anything more than that. Poochie Gown, like, now this one I had to laugh about. This is the one that DJ Academics was trying to hype up, saying, yeah, the 5 seconds, the literal 5 seconds of Gunna talking about Freddie Gibbs is better than anything that Freddie Gibbs has ever done in his career. A song called Poochie Gown. Let that resonate. Poochie Gown. He actually named his song Poochie Gown. He actually had that as the hook. Nothing about this was any good. And the fact that DJ Academics, who is a clown, tried to hype this up to be like it's something, it gets a straight up F for me. Honestly, this is why I'm not going to do a lyrical breakdown for this, because his actual bar, if you want to say that, it's not even a bar, it's like half a bar. What he's saying is, I can't F with Freddie Gibbs. They say too many fibs or something along that level. And this is what had Twitter going crazy. This is what everybody was super hyped for. This is like the worst bar diss, if you want to call it that I've heard in quite some time. And I've heard Soulja Boy try to diss people. How You Did That, featuring Kodak Black, which is a beat that's so strong that even Kodak Black couldn't ruin it. Like, I really didn't see that one coming. Now, my favorite song off this project would be Living Wild, where this was an introspective song that had a quality vibe, quality production. My issue with it, he channels Future a little bit too much on there, to the point that I'm like, yo, I kind of want to go listen to Future now. But keep in mind, he does this song multiple times throughout this project, but yet he messes the rest of them up. Like Life is Sin, it's the same thing as this, but yet my thing is Nietzsche, aka No Name Lil Boosie, kinda came through and messed that one up, then So Far Ahead, where that joint was pretty solid, until he decided to switch up the production to go into the other song, Empire, and that was trash. And the last song I want to talk about is that You and Me with Chloe on there, where wasn't expecting them to go ahead and get the John B sample. For those of you who don't know, that song, that's called They Don't Know. It's a straight up sample that they took there. And Hey, Chloe got the voice, fam. My issue is they didn't take it, evolve it, and make it into anything doper for this time period. Instead, they just got a hot sample and then threw Chloe on top of it, who got a better voice than John B ever had. But they really didn't evolve it and make it into something more epic than what the original actually was. It is what they just made it more raunchy. That's pretty much it. But overall, man, project is cool. I mean, I like the beats. Like, a lot of the beats in there was going hard. Some of it was catchy. There was next to zero lyricism. A bunch of these songs I could skip past and not even care about it. Like, I'm only really keeping one song, as I said. But it was still an enjoyable listen. I think people should peep it out. I give it a 5 out of 10. And yeah, all you Nas fans, if you end up watching this, keep in mind, I gave the Nas Magic a 5 out of 10 too, but there's a difference between a Gunna 5 out of 10 and a Nas 5 out of 10. But whatever. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. Catch y'all next time.